30th, 2016 is now called to order. We do the open forum first. Is it in here somewhere? There it is.
You do that
Okay.
after the minute.
All right. Mr. Anderson, would you mind, I think I asked you last time too, but since you look so regal there sitting all alone, would you lead us in a word of prayer?
Bow your heads, please. Lord, we thank you for our families, our communities, the staff that we represent. Please guide us tonight as we discuss matters of importance to everyone in our area. Please give us wisdom and look out for our communities and our students, our staff. We ask this in your son's name. Amen.
Recommend approval of the agenda dated June 30th, 2016.
Motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of approving the agenda, please say aye.
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 I recommend approval of the minutes dated May the 10th and 19th, 2016.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion concerning the minutes? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes, or minutes approved. At this point, we move to the open forum session. If anyone is here and would like to address the board, this is the evening at which you can address the board at your request. You need to sign up at the back. At this point, I understand we have no one signed up. Was there anyone here that wished to sign up? All right.
All right.
Next order of business.
Well, we'll have some updates from around the district. We had a technology conference put on by our incredible people that involved several hundred folks that came around and talked to some participants here before we got started. I wasn't able to be there, but remoted in live, and it was some incredible learning going and a lot of effort to put on a conference of that order. But what it really showed is how great our people are. Of what we're doing in our classrooms is incredible, and the way that we share knowledge is really powerful, and it's ironing sharpening iron, and we have iron sharpening iron. And it's what we've been able to do with the support of the board, with the implementation of Canvas, our learning management system, and the Adminum that's bringing in more curriculum into that. What it does is it's not just stuff, but it gives our teachers, our administrators, the ability to kind of make it their own and kind of make magic happen, and they're doing that. And that was on display, and it was incredible. We've got, as far as our virtual school that's going to be starting this fall. We visited Lockheed Martin yesterday, a few of us, and they're going to donate us some laptops to kind of get them kicked off with the technology there, and they want to be a partner in seeing that grow, so we're excited about that. We've got an update with Mr. Witten's department because of the WIRED Act, which is what's called the Alabama HEAD Act. They worked on that about 4 years in the legislature to kind of get that going, and Mr. Witten kind of helped lead that effort. And with that, we're able to now have all of our schools, their switches and servers up to date, and we're able to do that with the funding from that bill. And so that is exciting that now with kind of the software stuff we have, now we've got the hardware, kind of in place where now our teachers should be able to get all their classes and themselves and students on, and we can start rip roaring from there. Today we found out from the Office of School Readiness we've got an additional pre-K slot grant at Lynn Fanning, so congratulations to Ms. Berger. So the great thing about pre-K expanding into all these new schools is that it is more opportunities, but with that also comes lotteries to get into that, and there are some really long waiting lists, and there are broken hearts that come with that. But I just wanted to kind of voice on behalf of the district that is a need of our community, and it's honestly almost an expectation now, and it's we encourage the state and any other funding opportunities that allow us to fund that. It's had some incredible early success from that. And to reiterate, because of kind of our people here, Madison County is the largest receiver of the Office of School Readiness Grant than any other school district in the state of Alabama. And the reason that we're getting that is because they see how we've implemented that in our team. And so really appreciate the administrators for kind of taking basically an extra grade level in and extra teachers and people in their building and with that comes in people that are observing and monitoring. And so that's a big deal, and we do appreciate you guys with that. And two other things I want to just kind of commend, and that's going to be Miss Anna Watts and Miss Roosevelt Carter. These are two folks that have been just pillars in our school districts, and both Miss Watts with 29 years in our district and Mr. Carter with 22. Is that right? So we have a presentation for you on behalf of the board. And we will move on to some administrative actions. All right. For item A, I recommend approval of the financial statements, payments of bills, and cash reports for May of 2016.
Motion. Second.
A motion and a second, any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 I recommend approval of the fiscal year 2016 final budget amendment.
Motion.
Second.
A motion and a second, any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 I recommend approval of the following bids as attached.
Motion. Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All right. I recommend approval of the agreement between Madison County Board of Education and Sequel TSI of Alabama and New Beginnings LLC.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? And this is for, basically for the mental health.
That's correct.
Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 I recommend approval of the construction request for an outdoor classroom at Buckhorn Middle School.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Now, lad, that's been a lot of work done with Mr. Perkins, kind of started a long time ago and almost a lifetime ago, and so it's kind of been a dream of his, and excited that Mr. McCutcheon will be carrying that on, and those kids will get to experience that opportunity. And we have some incredible outdoor classrooms around our districts that are basically homegrown, and no credit to our part there, but it's from Readingville and Carmel and other people kind of transforming some of their things, getting their kids just outside of classrooms, out of desks there. So it's an exciting thing. Recommend approval of the student transfer request form as attached.
Motion.
Motion. Second.
Motion and a second, is there any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Sorry.
Dot your I, come on.
All right, does that pass?
Yes.
I recommend the board to authorize the superintendent to enter into an agreement with Wellstone Behavioral Health Nova Center for Youth and Family to provide site-based mental health services to students.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Is there any discussion?
Just looking at the list of schools that are served here, let's say that a school that's not on this list has a need. Can you sign on after this agreement is, after it's finalized?
They will add schools as needed, funded by, solely funded by grants given to health
Right.
information. And we've added a number of schools each year, and we're adding to the new schools each year. So, it costs about $60,000 to start up, 2 to 3 sites depending upon the need. But there are students who see therapists, these are usually pre-established.
Right,
But
right.
those students who are referred can go to a neighboring school and
Okay.
have therapists to see therapists.
Because I know that's something
Anytime there's an emergency.
that we really can't provide, but it's a very valuable thing for our school system to have this.
Yes, it is.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 I recommend approval of the 2016-17 Student Code of Conduct.
Motion. Second.
Motion is second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Ms. Thompson, can I make the following 4 recommendations into one? With all the moves, okay. I recommend approval of the School Resource Officer Memorandum of Understandings as attached.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Is there any discussion?
Are there any significant changes in this year's agreement?
There are few, yes, it's what I presented at the last session, that I was, at the last work session. Deputy Brian Smith is moving to Meridianville Middle School. He will not be at Has Green, that's his request. So you can talk to him about why, his reason. But so the system level person will be housed out in Meridianville Middle instead of out of Has Green. The Sheriff's Department will be funding the other three middle schools and Hazel Green High School. There are no changes with the other except to omit the schools so that we could change everyone around. So your high school one, you're funding the system level at Meridianville Middle instead of Hazel Green, and then you're funding your high schools, Buckhorn, Sparkman/Sparkman 9, and Madison County High. The New Hope agreement is new for you at this meeting tonight, and it's a draft. I have draft across that for you. I've been in conversations with the Sheriff's Department, as late as today, and they are, prepared to provide a deputy under contract services starting day 1 of the school year to be there. Those contracts would need to be approved by you as the board, and I've agreed with, to help Captain Phillips negotiate those contracts for those to come to you at your next board meeting. So I'll work with him and get those to Miss O'Bannon so she can get them on the contract list. That will allow someone to be there until they can backfill that SRO position. As you know, Commissioner-elect Hill has voiced a strong interest in negotiating a funding agreement as soon as he takes office. Hopefully by January 15th, that's the date that I put in the agreement, that's a draft for you for tonight for the SRO. So he would be willing to pick up that funding for that second semester. Using a contract deputy, that would be 4 to 5 people that Captain Phillips will handpick. Will not just be someone who's working a contract. These will be the same 4 or 5 people that will work this school consistently. And that will be the New Hope Elementary, New Hope High, and they will cover Owens Crossroads. New Hope Elementary and New Hope High I already are preparing offices for someone to be there as soon as they're available. So, that would require you to approve those contracts for payment, for contract services to cover the number of days until such time they can backfill and have an SRO in that position. And, after tonight, Dr. Ninsky will be the liaison, but I did, tell Captain Phillips that I will work through those contracts with him, so those can be brought back to you for you to make whatever decision you feel is necessary. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
So should we approve this draft tonight? Or,
It's up to you. I put it out there for you if you wanted to, just so you'll have something in place and they will be working toward an SRO. Your other agreements were approved by the commission yesterday, but not the new HUD. The sheriff's department has the new HUD one, but I explained to them it's only a draft and you guys would have to make a decision as to how you want to move forward before they will move forward with that with the commission.
If you approve it, then it's as though you're making a proposal to them. With the other ones, you're accepting what they've already approved. So you could certainly approve it and then it's proposed to them, and if the funding is worked out, then all they have to do is accept it. You don't have to wait for the meeting to come back to this board. It's up to you. I mean, that's however you want to handle it.
You want to pull that second?
no, I'm just was asking, I didn't know.
The approximate cost for the first semester is around $20,000. The cost for contract services for that first semester, if it were to take the full semester, will be about $17,000. So it's a little cheaper to go the contract route. You just don't have the consistent same person there every day. And these people will be APOS certified deputies, law enforcement officials. They'll meet all the requirements for your state law and for monitoring, but they will not be SRO trained. But Captain Phillips said they will not follow their normal procedure for assigning contract deputies. He will handpick those people to ensure that they are qualified to be in the schools and they're people who really want to be there and want to be there.
Thank you, ma'am.
Any other questions or discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 And I'll just add, this was kind of Hannah's kind of the architect of this from the beginning and years ago, and something that's really caught on around. So she's appreciate that legacy that you'll be leaving with us. All right. On the recommend approval of the revision to the 2016-17 salary schedule. In that, I've made an addition from the schooling agenda on page 7. In this, all employees will receive the 4% raise, except for the top line on page 7, which it is staying the same. We can come back and discuss that further before October 1. We'll have to make an addition there before the next fiscal year begins.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second, is there any discussion?
Should this one be approval of the salary schedule, not a revision of the actual
Okay,
salary
approval of the
schedule?
salary schedule, yes.
Do we need to re-motion or we okay?
You know, I think that, one thing that all of this discussion has brought to light that I wasn't probably that aware of is how inequitable our salaries are between our elementary and our high school administrators. And that's something I'd like for us to take a look at. I think that it's a shame that a person who is a high school assistant principal would move into the most important job in the school system to be an administrator for the foundation of our children's education and make less money than they made as an assistant principal. I had no idea.
Had multiple people in that scenario. And one of the things we're kind of committing to is to revisiting that where, because we have the vast majority of our elementary principals are actually in the teacher salary schedule. And which, that's what it's kind of the quirkiness of the law there, but we want to get those, we need to fix our principal salary schedule so they're under a principal salary schedule. So that's
Well,
something
a
we're gonna try
principal
to
is a
do.
principal, and I know high school is important, but you know, if they get to high school and they don't know anything, then we've missed the boat. Maybe more than the boat.
Any further discussion?
What would be the timeline for looking at that?
Now, I think, I would like to propose something by July, in our July board meeting. We just have one meeting in July, the 19th, I think. But we have to have something set before the law takes place.
Anything else? All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Motion passes.
I recommend the following contracts for services as attached.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
I recommend approval of the probationary contracts for the following principals effective July 1, 2016. And that is Ms. Heidi Phelps and Ms. Kathy Rink.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Motion passes.
I recommend approval of the following personnel items and addendum as attached.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 There's a lot of people included in that, some including social workers that we're gonna have, Ms. Hurt, and some incredible folks that we're gonna be adding to our team. We're really excited about the school year coming forward.
That way.
And some serious losses.
And some serious
Mhm.
stuff.
That way, I think All right, as president of the Madison County School Board of Education, I recommend the following personnel and action in accordance with Alabama Code 16-22-15.1, employment of relatives.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
How many people are in this, program right now? Do we know?
Last year, we probably had, incorporating with the PACE Academy is kind of how we started to build this, is we probably had over a dozen kids coming through there at different times. Now with that, the demand for that has kind of been, I wish Ms. Schumate was here to kind of explain the impact that's had on that, on their program and their counselor there. But it's created demand for that. And in fact, some of the middle school kids, they were in their 1/8 grader wants to enroll, and there's a 9th grader. So we're kind of allowing, generally we don't have 9th graders that come to the Career Tech Center. It's just 10 through 12 because of the 9th grade requirement. So we're gonna open that up to freshmen. To do that, we're gonna kind of, at this time, kind of talk about some of the other things there. We'll actually be offering the health class, so students can get that health assignment and driver's ed, because that's a barrier for a lot of students that want to come to Tech. They can't come because they need driver's ed. So we'll be offering that at the Career Tech Center, and we're also adding another health science unit. So that's been a very popular and productive course, so we're adding another unit into that. So it is performing quite well. I'm really excited now that, we've been through a couple transitions there of building that program up.
So maybe, it's been a while since we've heard from him. Maybe at our next work session, Mr. Romine could come and tell us what they are offering,
And
for
the
our students.
And the certificates associated with each of the
Right.
programs.
Yeah.
And how many kids are actually getting those, and
And it would be good to tour, maybe do another tour of our virtual school thing we're kind of remodeling there and the pony area there. I'd love for you guys to see that.
And may I ask, would you like that for work session in August?
I guess that's the next work session, isn't it? That'd be great. Thank you.
Any further discussion or question? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Vote on that one.
All right, and we have student transfers left
Mhm.
and an executive session. So on the transfer, do I need to recommend that after executive session?
So we need to discuss the transfer in executive session, excuse me, executive session. And so you can do the executive session first and then vote on that, is that the way you wanna
Okay,
handle it?
so I can go ahead and make that recommendation for the student transfer now?
If you want to, or you can wait till after the executive session, it's no question.
Okay, I'll go ahead and make it now unless there's a request. Okay, I recommend the approval of unique situation, student transfer request as attached.
And understanding that this would just be for 1 year because that's our policy now, even for employees' children. Correct? They would have to
Well,
reapply next year if they wanted it
Yeah,
to be permanent.
that doesn't come up for board approval for employees, but they have to apply for
I
that every year.
understand, but I think they had asked for permanent, right? And it would need to be according
This
to.
student's a learning center, so if you grant it to a, they'd be senior next year,
No, well,
and
but,
you could apply for senior status.
well, that's true.
I'm
That's
sorry, I
true.
didn't mean
It's
that.
okay. That is true. They could. I guess we still do that.
Taking the policy, so it would be in,
I think so.
for everybody across the board.
Right.
Any other questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Motion passes.
Before we go to executive session to discuss pending litigation, do you want to go around the horn?
Anybody have anything?
Something, I can't remember what it was.
Our institute,
Obviously
our
wasn't
teacher
important.
institute is it July the, August the 2nd? And we've got a kind of a different schedule coming back for teachers this year. Teachers will come back and we have 5 kind of work days with teachers before kids come back, but we're doing the Monday through Thursday. They'll have all Friday and Monday and then come back Tuesday. And and that will be our institute on that Tuesday. Is that correct? On August the 2nd. So invite the board. We'd love for you guys to come to that. That will be at the Ombrun Civic Center, and we've got an exciting program. Ready to get everybody fired up and ready to go.
Your turn?
I know y'all probably get tired of hearing about Buckhorn, District 2 archery, but we did finish 9th in the world, which I realize 9th doesn't sound that great, but when you're talking about the entire world, that's pretty cool. So I'm real proud of our students. They really presented themselves well and were able to maintain. They were actually only 18 points out of 3rd. So, a pretty sweet deal.
Maybe we could have them come shoot for us one night.
Goodness.
You can.
They'll line the targets up right here, is that
Right,
what?
exactly,
Get an
exactly.
apple.
There's room in there.
There is room in here.
Um, You know, several of my schools have had things going on. Excuse me, my husband doesn't like for me to call them my schools. Schools in my district have had things going on this summer to kind of keep children from losing what they had. Madison County has had what they've called an academic academy, right, Amy? And about 40-something kids were enrolled in that. Amy and I both were at New Hope today for their press conference with their Power Scholars Academy, which is, it was kind of a joint effort with the Heart of the Valley YMCA, the Care Center, and Bell University. And Chick-fil-A gave us our lunch, but it's just to help close the achievement gap. We went in the classrooms and saw some of the great things that they were doing, and you know, it's just, I think that's wonderful that that's going on. And Central has had, a few weeks ago, what they called Colt Camp, which was, they had a great week with a group of students that probably aren't always the ones who get to do the special things. So I just, you know, I'm always impressed with what our people are doing. They never stop trying to do something extra for our students.
They work hard in the summer.
They do. They do.
All right, at this point, we have a convocation to go into executive session to discuss pending litigation. We have a motion. Motion and a second to go into executive session.
Sorry.
Is there any
I was
discussion?
telling Dan he's supposed to say, I love Hazel Green, but notice that was in the minutes. Yes, I make a motion. I make
We
a
have,
motion.
is there any, all those in
We
favor,
never get
please
out
say
this
aye.
early.
I don't love Nikki.
Aye.
What?
I don't know, I like it all right, but I don't love it.